Hey, whippersnappers. Long time no talk or whatever. I've been gone for years. I have not recorded a single thing in literally years. But I got a PS5 not that long ago, and I've been getting back into Neverwinter, and it's changed a lot since I last played it. So I thought I would do a bunch of sort of run-through, walk-through videos of the Warlock class, a DPS build, levels 1 through 20. So now the level cap is 20. It was higher before, but it stops at 20 now for your leveling. So I'm just going to do a run through from character creation all the way up to 20, and then I'll stop. I don't know how many videos this is going to be, but I'll update the one of thing at some point. So I'm going to make a Warlock, and I'm going to do it as a tiefling male, sure. I'm not going to go through all these options for character classes and whatnot, because there's a lot of options. But for Warlocks, I like to do, you get the option of either +2 Charisma or +2 Constitution. I'm sorry, +2 Charisma, +2 Constitution, or +2 Charisma, +2 Intelligence. And I like the Intelligence route because he's a spellcaster. Intelligence does more damage with, the higher the intelligence, the more damage with magic. So now we can customize what he looks like a bit. I'm just gonna go with that to start with. You can also customize like a lot of stuff, like the hair, eyes, eyebrows, facial hair, horns, tattoos, scars, face scaling, body shape, body scaling. And I'm just gonna go with the defaults. Except, you know what? I'm gonna change his hair a little bit because I don't want him to be bald. Let's choose short styled. Sure, why not? Okay, now we're going to be done. And then you can choose a deity affiliation, which it doesn't, as it says at the top, sort of left over there, it says this selection is for flavor and has no effect on gameplay. So I'm just going to go with the default. Same with your character origin, like where they're from, what area of the world. It doesn't matter in terms of gameplay. So I'm just going to choose one of these random things, Shadowvar Elite. We're going to give him a name. You could choose a random name, but they're all kind of long and odd, hard to pronounce. So I'm just going to call him, surprisingly, Geezer. So let me get that in here. Almost there. Okay, there we go. And now we shall begin. Starting at level 1. It's going to go through all the tutorial stuff, and I'll explain things along the way as I think of them. I might tend to ramble, but too bad. I'm also going to skip a lot of the cutscenes and especially the dialogue from people because it's not always that important. I mean, if you want the story, yes, listen to everything, watch everything, read everything. But if you've played this game a bunch, like I have, they keep saying the same things over and over and over, so it gets old. So I'm going to skip all that stuff, most of the dialogue. I might forget what I'm supposed to be doing, so sometimes I might read some of it. Okay, so first, see that sparkly trail on the ground there? That's going to point to what your current objective is set to. And in the upper right there where it says Neverwinter Outskirts, which is where I am, talk to Lieutenant Linkletter. That's my current mission or quest. And that's this guy right here. Question mark over their head means finishing a quest. If it were an exclamation point, it means the person has a quest to give you. Okay? So you press X to talk to the person or to interact with most things in the world. And it's always explained down there at the bottom of the screen what your options are for interacting with stuff. Okay, understood. Next thing, collect your gear, and it's pointing us over here. So see how it's got little, it's kind of sparkly, I don't know what to call that, little spears dancing or whatever, kind of sparkly. Anyway, collect your gear. Doing that. This is all my gear. You get a grimoire, which is a book, packed blade, some armor, healing potions. These two are sort of your main weapons. This is armor, of course. And it tells you what the armor does, plus 19 defense, plus 22 combined rating. And when it says recommended, like it does there in yellow, that is telling you the game recommends that you equip this piece of gear because it's better than what you've got currently equipped. And that's not always the case because it's basing it on, I forget if it's item level or what, but sometimes the characteristics of the thing that you have equipped might be better or more in line with the way you want to play than what it says is recommended. So I don't always take the recommended thing, or don't always equip the recommended thing. Most of the time, but not always. Anyway, hit the square button. I'm playing on the PS5, by the way, so all my buttons are for the PS5. Hit the square button, take everything. Now we gotta equip my gear. You press options on the controller and go over to items. So you press options on the controller and it brings you to this main menu where you access a lot of things in the game, and inventory is in here. Select it, hit equip. Press X to get the options, hit equip. Press X, equip. Hit the circle button to get out of that, back out of there. Now it is saying use an at-will power. First I want to explain this little campfire with a blue ring. You'll find these throughout. There are respawn points, but they also heal you quickly. So if you get hurt in battle and you run away and you'll heal outside of combat quickly, but if you need it to be even quicker, you get to one of these campfires and you'll heal really quick. Also later you'll find that at these campfires every so often you can like pray to a god or goddess and it'll give you some astral stones that are worth stuff. They use that's its currency. Okay, so using at will power. Look at the map in the lower right hand corner. There's a little blue circle. Little blue circles like that, or big blue circles sometimes, show you the area that you want to be in to do whatever the quest wants you to do. And this kind of sparkly, yellowy, golden area shows the start of the area. So when you're inside that, you're now inside the area that they want you to be in. Okay, so we want you to use an at-will power, and they want you to do it at these target dummies. And you'll see how this center cursor targeting circle is red when it's over an enemy. And see here, it's white, goes to red, and over like a neutral thing or like a party member it's blue. All right, so at-will powers are used with your left and right triggers, also called L2 and R2. And in the bottom there, that arrow is pointing to using L2. So that's firing L2, and this is R2. And those at-will powers, they happen not instantaneously, but very quickly. And they don't have like a countdown, like a reset timer, cooldown timer, like your encounter powers do, which they want you to use next here. Use an encounter power 2 times. The arrow's pointing at that. On the controller, on the right-hand side, your square, triangle, circle, and sometimes the X are your encounter powers. So pressing those will activate that. And see, now there's like a little countdown, cooldown timer. We'll do it again with the other one. And now we're done with that. So now we got to fight through the forest. So we have a little trail leading into the forest. Be careful out there. We got to start fighting some stuff. So I'm holding down my right trigger. Fire off at these guys using encounter powers. I've got this one it's a big hand and it smacks people to the ground, and I like to use that because I use it a lot. And I keep it all the way through leveling up to 20 because warlocks are decent at controlling things, and when they're not like able to hit you, that's great. So I smack them down on the ground. They have to take time to get up, and they can't hurt you while they're doing that. So it's a good thing. I like it. As you level up, you'll get different access to different powers. that you can put in your slots. More powerful stuff. I do like to keep the hand one though. Alright, so now we gotta jump over this log, which is L1 plus X. Can be a little tricky to use in some situations, but not too bad. They don't make you use it too much. Let's smack that guy down. Help those guys over there. Get him, get him, get him, get him. And we're done. Okay. Fight through the forest. Follow this little trail. Stuff falling from the sky. More stuff coming at me. So this ability with the hand, the more, let's see, the longer in combat you are, the longer it takes to recover or cool down. And when you exit combat and then come back in, it's reset, so it's fast again. But if you're in a long combat, it takes longer and longer for you to be able to use that ability. All right, talk to Makos. It's this guy. I'm gonna skip that guy. I'm ready. I'm gonna do a little cutscene where we're gonna show the Dracolich. And I find this funny because, you know, this big dangerous thing, and he says, it's time to put an end to this beast, and he throws one little fireball or whatever at it, and it's dead. Like, if he could have done that, why didn't he do that before? Okay. Let's just skip that. Now we gotta follow him. So, a little falling damage there, which will come back really quick. There's another campfire. We don't have time for you. We have to follow Makos. You jerks. Go down, go down, go down. Smack, smack, smack. When we get into the main city, there's a whole training thing that we'll do, and that'll explain more of your abilities. And actually, you have to demonstrate that you know how to use your abilities. So it's there's some things that'll be revealed there. I'll talk about. Okay, we just have to hold these guys off for. See, there's a timer in the upper right there. 45 seconds now. Hold these guys off until Makos is done. I didn't mention it yet, but I'm gonna do this run through solo, no grouping up with people. This game is, I find, really pretty easy, so grouping in these, basically through the whole 1 through 20 isn't necessary. You can do it if you want to, play with your friends for sure, but not necessary to make it through this whole game, through the whole, at least 1 through 20. So this is just going to be me doing my thing. Okay, there. I'm ready to go meet with Celeste. Alright, so a thing coming up here, there's going to be a bunch of undead. And I'll explain this now. You don't have to fight stuff unless it's part of a quest. You don't get experience points for anything unless it's part of a quest. You get a little bit of loot sometimes, like gold and some other stuff, but unless a quest is telling you, like, kill a certain number of these things, you don't have to fight everything that shows up. You can just run by them or ride by them if you're on a mount. Like I just ran past those guys because they weren't part of any quest that I had to do. Alright, so talk to Celeste.
You did well to keep
I will.
It
says seek out Sergeant Knox. He's kind of the main quest giver in the main city, at least in the beginning. Yeah, kind of throughout, I guess. You keep having to go. You keep going back to him after you finish large quests. I'm gonna skip this. So we're gonna run through here and cross the bridge. So technically I don't have to fight these things that are showing up here, but I don't trust them. I think they might come up behind me while I'm still trying to make my way across the bridge, so I'm gonna take them out while I'm here. And this Warlock class has both ranged and melee abilities, but I like to start a fight with a ranged thing to pull bad guys to me. Not always, but a lot of the time. That way they're a little bit hurt before they get to me, so I don't have to struggle like trying to take them down while they're surrounding me. Because being surrounded is bad. Like if you get surrounded by stuff, as will be explained in the training thing, when you're surrounded, like if somebody's behind you and on the other side of you, like in front of and behind you at the same time, you're going to take extra damage. You're going to get hurt fast, and it can be pretty dangerous. I've accidentally died not paying attention or not seeing that there was stuff behind me as well as in front of me, and my health dropped super quick, and I died. Dying isn't such a terrible thing in this game. Like if you can come back from dying really quick, but still, it's not fun. You might have to redo some stuff, but it's not such a big, not too big a deal if you do die. But don't let things surround you. That's my point. You can get out of the way. You can move away from stuff pretty quickly if you find that you're getting surrounded. I'll demonstrate it here coming up soon against a bad guy, but like this. See that red thing on the ground? I just moved out of the way of that. I'll explain that in more detail, but first let me say that red thing on the ground, like that area on the ground, was that bad guy, that wizard casting a spell, and you want to get out of the way of those things on the ground, those areas, if you can. You should try to. And the way to do that quickly is you press down on the left trigger, and each class has its own different technique that happens when you do that. Like this guy, for instance, he sort of floats around. He becomes immune to control, and I think he's resistant to a lot of damage. But you can only use it while you still have stamina. It drains your stamina really quickly. And your stamina is a little tiny blue bar down there on the lower left that's refilling right now. When you have enough stamina, you can use that ability to get away from stuff, and when you're out of stamina, you can't. We can't skip this video, so there's no skip in the upper right there. Leave Makos alone! Kill them. So now we have to fight this big guy to get across the bridge. The Harbinger. I don't have very many special abilities right now. So you want to stay away from that red area on the ground that he just had. He's immune to the hand thing. Oops, he hit me. But most bosses, maybe all bosses, are immune to that my hand ability. I can't knock them down. They still take damage from it, but they don't get knocked down, unfortunately. So I'm just doing a lot of dodging while I pelt this guy with stuff. Oh, he got me. Get out of the way. It'll say not enough stamina if you try and use your special power to move. If you don't have enough stamina. Alright, there we got him. I'm gonna go talk to Makos, who was hurt Poor guy.
I believe I'm in your debt.
I'm ready. I feel like SpongeBob every time I see that. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, Loading Protectors Enclave. This is the main city that you start a lot of your quests from. And there's a workshop if you want to make your own stuff, which you'll get quests for. All right, so now we talk to Makos.
Welcome to Protectors Enclave.
Adventurers Guild. Oh, and thank you for your aid in the battle. We gotta go to the Adventurers Guild now. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm gonna keep these videos, try and keep them short, like 20 minutes or so. I might go over a little bit, but try and keep around 20 minutes, something like that. So there'll probably be a whole bunch of them. All right, so we gotta meet with Sergeant Knox. He's the main quest giver guy, like I said. We'll talk to him. Complete this. And we're gonna get some gloves. See, there's some gloves. Complete quest. We are level 2. Congratulations. All right, training day is the next quest. Let me say, they want to send you over to the mount guy. Let me check how long I've been going. Just over 20 minutes. All right, well, let me first, I'm going to talk to this mount guy first. Sergeant Knox told me to speak to you about mounts. View available mounts. So you get to pick. You are given a token thing to buy one of these mounts, and they're both the same. Basically, they give you the same ability or powers or whatever bonuses. They just look a little different. So I'm just going to take this one. And then I'm going to equip it. It says equip your horse. And to do that, you go over here under character to mounts. Oops, first you got to go to your inventory. I always forget that. We're going to equip the gloves. And what is this? Something I can't use until level 5. Huh. All right, there's a horse. So you want to first equip it. Yes, and it shows you the horse and the powers or abilities that you'll get to choose from. Then you go to mounts under character, and you can see your mount. This is the current one. When you'll get more mounts, and under appearance, you can choose what your mount looks like. Choose from your different mounts that you have. You have different powers that down here that are provided by mounts, or different bonuses. And when you have more than one, you can choose from a list here. And I only have that one for the combat power, and for the equip power, only that one. Movement, there's 2. For some reason, there's a trot in here, which I don't know why anybody would want to use trot, because it's slow. And you really only use your mount when you're trying to go somewhere fast. So I never change it. But as you get more mounts, you'll get more choices of combat powers and other things. And then you can change the appearance if you want to ride a different mount. If you hit R2 and go to the stable, it shows your mount or mounts. You can have 5 in here. And these different insignia that you can slot in here, and they give you bonuses. And when you complete all 3, it'll give you a big insignia bonus, depending on which insignia you've slotted. And it'll tell you about those here, the different combinations of insignia and what they give you. Okay. If you wanted to equip your mount or ride your mount, it would be pressing up on the D-pad. You can't do that inside the building, but once I was outside, that's when you could equip your mount and ride around faster. Okay, I'm going to end the video here. Next, we're going to do the training in the training room. So follow along with me, if you will. We're going to do 1 through 20. We're now level 2. Woohoo! And try and keep these videos short and sweet. But that's going to do it for now. Okay, hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.